Good afternoon, and welcome to my podcast channel. And today we're going to do a little bit of Italian cooking. I'm going to make a lasagna from scratch and hopefully give you guys a hint. Some of you might be saying that I don't know what I'm doing here in the kitchen, but I do like to cook. Let's say I'm at home on the range. Okay, so first of all, we need to boil up some water so we can make the lasagna nice and ready to go, so we can form it in the pan. So I'll take care of that first. So depending on how big your lasagna you want to make, and I'll show you the pan in a bit. Usually 1 pound of lasagna will work. There's a lot of pieces of lasagna in here, so this usually 1 pound should work for you good. The next thing I want to do is I want to take my ground beef, and this is 2 pounds of ground beef to make a nice sized lasagna, and I'll fry this up in a skillet, and you want to cook it not all the way cooked. Because what you're going to do is when you put it inside the lasagna, it's going to be baking in the oven as well. So you want to have that meat cook to its full when it's in the lasagna. So you just want to basically, at first, you want to just fry it up in a frying pan. I like to season it a little bit with some garlic powder to taste, you know. Just a pinch or a punch, you know, a pinch or a punch, you know, I don't know the difference, but it's either a pinch or a punch. And little Donnie Brasco reference there for some of you people that get it. And I put a little onion salt on here to season it up, get that meat seasoned nice, and just let it fry. Okay, so now what we need is to make our mixture for the ricotta cheese. So I use just a net worth of this 32 ounces of ricotta cheese, and I use 2 of these helpings of the ricotta. And what I do at that point, I add in 2 eggs to mix it up a little bit and get a nice consistency with the cheese. Add a little pepper to the ricotta, and then I just mix it up. You get that nice and mixed up, and this will be nice and creamy inside the lasagna. We'll have many layers of the lasagna with it. Here is what the mixture looks like. It's all nice now, ready to be put inside the lasagna when we do the layers. Okay, little tip for you. When boiling your water, before you put your macaroni in, you want to put a little olive oil, just a little bit, just so the pasta doesn't stick. So then we just lightly put in lasagna pieces, and they will get soft in the water, and we'll monitor these a little bit, and just monitor them a little bit. As they get soft down the bottom, you can at that point push them in a little bit more, and you'll get them all going, and that'll take a little bit of time there. So just we'll be patient a little bit as your macaroni starts to cook. Okay, well, now that the water's all boiled and the macaroni is all cooked, we want to strain it. Just want to strain it, and you want to wash it off a little bit to get it cool, so it can cool down. So when you create the lasagna pieces into the pan, you won't burn your fingers. So I like to put some nice cold water on it and let sit. And that can sit like that for a little bit as we go tend to our meat. Okay. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I've been cooking my gravy for a couple hours to make sure that gets nice and thick, and we'll just now keep this on the stove and heat it up a little bit because we'll be utilizing that to make the layers, I'm pretty sure. And I know you say gravy, some people are going crazy right now, but some people call it gravy, some people call it sauce. It's gravy. If you're a real Italian, you call it gravy. And we'll have another episode after the new year explaining the difference between sauce and gravy. But I know there's people right now freaking out, but in this kitchen, it's always going to be called gravy. Okay, now my meat is all done. Like I said, don't cook it all the way. Leave some of it a little bit red because what will happen is you'll be cooking it inside the lasagna, inside the oven. So you want to make sure that it's, cooked, but just not totally cooked because you don't want that to get all hot inside the lasagna. My gravy's still cooking on the stove, and we can basically start building the lasagna pieces. So let's get started. Okay, well what I do is, here we go in the pan, nice pan. I usually like to take a scoop of the gravy and I just put that on the bottom so it can stay nice and lubricated there on the bottom. And then what you do is you take a piece of the lasagna and you just thusly put it in nice so it fits. And this pan actually works very well with the sizing of it. And my macaroni is all nicely cooled off now, so I don't burn my fingers. And that's what the bottom layer looks like. Okay, and then what I do is I will take a scoop of my ricotta cheese and you put it inside the lasagna, and then very carefully you just smush it. I know that's not a real word, smush, but I guess in the Italian world we're going to use it. Okay, and you just make a nice layer. And then once I have that layer done, I will get a scoop of my meat and I will put it inside this layer with the meat. And just make sure that you allocate enough meat per layer, but you also want to continue to build. So you're going to probably have about 5 or 6 layers, so you just want to make sure that you keep enough meat so you can build up the layers. At that point, I take about a pound of mozzarella cheese, and cheese is the key to the lasagna. You'll have the consistency of the mozzarella and the ricotta, and it's just delicious. Or delicioso, as they say. And I just put a layer of mozzarella cheese here, which will melt nicely onto the lasagna. And again, I take some more of my gravy, and I just put that on top. You want to have that gravy there throughout the layers because you want to make it as juicy as possible. And that gravy will definitely make sure that every piece is going to be very, very good. So now I have that, and you can mix it up. You can put now another layer of meat in. You can put another layer of ricotta in. I'm going to put another small layer of ricotta in here because I like my lasagna nice and cheesy. So that's what we're going to do. But you can do what you like on your levels. You can either put more meat, more gravy, but just make sure that you're putting in more layers of the macaroni. And just continue putting the layers. And you see how nice these pieces now, they separate because we put the oil in the water when we were cooking it. So that's a really, really good tip when you're cooking macaroni. You definitely want to put some oil in the water because that helps the macaroni not stick. And when you're making lasagna, there's nothing worse than sticky pasta to drive yourself crazy. So there we have another layer ready to be taken care of. Again, we like the ricotta, and you just want to be a little careful when you smush it around because you don't want to move the lasagna pieces, but I'm sure that you'll do fine with that. Just take a little bit of your time and move it along. And keep that. You want to take a little bit more gravy. And that's a beautiful. And then you want to take more meat. I like to use meat of about 80% no fat. That helps because you burn off all the fat with the lean quality of a leaner quality of the meat. So if you can do that, that's gonna make the lasagna a lot better for you, and also it's gonna taste a lot better. And you just have to gauge where you are in the process, and what you're using for ingredients. I like to use a lot of ricotta cheese. I preheated my oven to 350. You'd like to do that. Preheat the oven to 350. I'm adding some more cheese, some more mozzarella, which you'll get in every bite, and I'm sure that your guests will be happy about that. And then we just put another layer. And another layer. And we're done. And what I like to do is I put some more gravy on top. And just line that with the gravy. On top of that, lasagna. And then I top it with some mozzarella cheese on top. And she is ready to pop in the oven. As you can see, there's our lasagna ready to go into the oven. Be careful because it is heavy. And I pop it in my 350-degree oven. And I let that cook for approximately 1 hour. But what I'll do is, probably about 45 minutes into it, I will check it. I'll put a fork in the middle of it and see how that's cooking. And basically you do it to taste. Well, this is how you make your lasagna, and we'll catch you when it comes out of the oven. Okay, well, it's been about 45 minutes, so I'm going to just take a look and see how we look here. Just going to poke it a little bit. Taste. Tastes very good, but it still needs a little bit more time. It's not totally cooked all the way through, so we're going to give it about 15 more minutes. Okay, so let's take a peek. Looks like it's done. It'll continue to cook a little bit as you let it cool on the counter, but there's our lasagna, and I hope you enjoy it. Bon appetit, and look for my new videos next time, and feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I hope all is well with you, and Merry Christmas to you.